That was President Trump last night, whipping up his base with another distorted picture of the emergency at the southwest border. He continued his performance on Twitter today, promising to close the border next week if Mexico won't. Here in El Paso, you won't find the frightening people he's been describing, but you will find a system that's overwhelmed. CBP says it's on track to apprehend 100,000 migrants this month, the most in 10 years. And more than ever, they're coming as families. In El Paso, Border Patrol says they arrested more than 4,100 migrants on a single day this week. That's the reason they've given for holding families under the bridge behind me that connects to Mexico.
And during the 1920s and 1917, there was an act on numerical restriction of immigration. And what this still white sentiment try to do is limit the amount of immigration that is coming into America. And that is what basically Donald Trump said last week, that our country is full. He just said it today, which is just ridiculous. Like, someone needs to show him history. Someone needs to show him all these readings, all these documentaries. During that time also, we saw a big amount of influx from immigration from the port of the east side of our nation, from all types of Europeans, from Western Europe to Eastern Europe, South Central Europe. They would come in through Ellis Island, and what we all saw with them, it was more of an acceptance just regarding skin color and that, again, sentiment of whiteness.
Hola. ¿De dónde vienen? ¿Y cuánto tiempo llevan acá?
Tem 4 dias nós estamos comendo isso aqui, ó. 4 dias.
4 días de comer eso, 4 días.
4 días.
Comendo só isso aqui, ó. Só pão.
No quieren que hablemos con ustedes, no quieren que demos entrevista.
¿Quién no quiere? ¿Pero te dijeron que no pueden hablar con nosotros? ¿Qué te dijeron?
Todos los oficiales. Y si nosotros hablamos, los tienen 15 días más aquí.
Experts say the Trump administration's rhetoric and policies, especially capping the number of asylum seekers who were processed at checkpoints, has driven more people to come north now and to cross over illegally instead of wait. Now that the humanitarian crisis is very real, the Trump administration is using it for effect. On Thursday, Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen sent... The influx is why last week, CBP says it was forced to house some families in this dirt yard, under a bridge.
Cuando a mí me sacaron del puente, yo le di muchas gracias a Dios, porque yo pensé que iba a un lugar mejor.
Gustavo came from Guatemala. He didn't want to show his face on camera or share his full name because he's worried about relatives he says are still in custody. On Sunday, Border Patrol cleared the underpass, saying it was moving Gustavo and the other migrants to a place where they'd have more space and more shelter capability.
Llego a esta otra cárcel y nos tiran en esas carpas, demasiado frío.
The new location is a few tents in a Border Patrol station parking lot. Border Patrol didn't respond to questions about it, but the more than a dozen people we talked to who stayed there said the conditions were even worse.
Le estoy calculando que habían como unos 1,500 personas en las 3 carpas. Los niños de nosotros dormían en los pies, nosotros parados, porque no cabíamos. Entonces iba llegando gente y gente y gente hasta que eso se volvió un caos.
And that is just sad. In June, we had the worst period in American history, I think, from many. We had family separation. In June, it came out about 3 months ago that family separation had actually started in 2017, which is just ridiculous to take a child from their mother, little babies, and put them in cages. They say they're detention centers. They don't look like detention centers at all. It's a fence inside a facility with kids separated by gender. There's really no supervision. There was actually a PBS documentary called Family Separation, Part 1 and 2, and it talks about all the psychological effects and just human violations that happen right there. Journalists try to come in and ask the Border Patrol to see a list of all the smallest kids. In this list, there was, I believe, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 6-month baby. And she asked, "Can I see this 6-month-old baby?" The Border Patrol went to go look for this baby and came back and said, "Well, I called her name. She didn't respond to me." And that is just like what is going on? I mean, it's a baby. It's a baby. Of course the baby is not gonna respond to just their name being called. As of right now, it's stated that about 500 kids lost their parents permanently. This is a tough subject for me and my family because my dad is a foster child. It's just crazy to think that our government used these immigration policies as they have done throughout history with the Japanese internment camps, and with the Native American children that they separated them from their kids, and it continues to go on in the 21st century. About a month ago, I saw, which is absolutely sad, absolutely it brings me anxiety on a daily basis, día a día. It's just a parallel, also in regards to the Mexican Repatriation Act. So in the podcast, it was about 1 million people, 60% of actual American citizens of Mexican descent were deported. It talks about the tactics of just economic intimidation, just throughout California. Here in El Paso, I was not born in this country. My father made us with citizenship abroad into this country, residing in those tent camps. Most of them say they've been there for about a week to 2 weeks, and people just keep coming in. And I just want to say immigrants are going to keep coming in. In the documentary, we saw about 6,000 European immigrants coming in boats every day into Ellis Island. Just due to their whiteness, we accepted them with open arms. We did have this racism, which it's incredible to just deem people undesirable because of a part of the world that they come from. And that is what's basically happening now. We had last year Donald Trump say that we don't want people from all these shithole countries, excuse my language, and he referred to that as African countries, Central American countries, Haitian in Haiti, people that come from Haiti. After that, I'm just gotten from all these people that just want to help. Like, we're all humans. We don't want to see mothers and kids in tents. We don't want to see this. There is work for them. It's just our country is very unaware of our immigration history, is very unaware of how our actual political tactics, economic tactics on expansionism and colonialism has affected immigration. Our colonialism in El Salvador in the 1880s and Guatemala is one of the main reasons of why their country is so unstable right now. Our big corporations just hiring cheap labor over there is one of the factors that has pushed thousands and thousands of immigrants to come into the United States and seek asylum, just like the Europeans were coming in with, as the documentary says, with just nothing on their backs, money sewn into their clothes, no food, no nothing, just asking for a chance to come live and work in this country. They got that chance. We still see the sentiment of racism that bridged many of them to coming into this country. But now, just because these people are a different color than what the white sentiment is, they're being just told, like, you can't come into this country. And if you come in, not only we're going to separate your kids, but we're going to criminalize you. And this goes back to all our legacy of racism under immigration policies. The second question was, how does the history of immigration to relate to my understanding of who is considered an American and who's not considered an American? So I spoke about that. From our standing of our nation, the white sentiment has always been there. Expansionism has always been there, as May 9th says in Impossible Subjects. I don't, it's crazy to me because I firmly believe that all nationalities, all races, everyone has a chance in this country. And because they have been the main bloc that has built America into the world's largest superpower.
This morning.